shoulders again.
Not again.
Going for a triple. A third and 5 to the Undertaker. Brock Lesnar into the cover. Hooks the leg. The streak is over.
That was 5 years ago, and I still cannot believe The Undertaker lost to WrestleMania. My story. How's it going, everybody? This is Jordan with J-Card Wrestling here. I thought I'd come up and do kind of a cool video here for you all. This is WrestleMania week, as we all know. And, you know, there are no signs that The Undertaker is going to show up at WrestleMania at all for any type of appearance. I really highly doubt that. I really think he's going to show up and do something. I'll be really shocked if he doesn't show up at all. But I thought I'd come up here and do kind of a cool video here for you all. This year, this WrestleMania is 5 years removed from WrestleMania 30. Where infamously The Undertaker lost his WrestleMania streak against Brock Lesnar. I am a huge Undertaker fan. He's my favorite wrestler of all time. He is the reason why I watch wrestling. I've been watching wrestling since 1999. I'm 24, so I've been watching since I was 4 or 5 years old. And The Undertaker has been my favorite wrestler ever since, really. This character, his mystique, his everything, man. I was like naturally drawn towards him, and that brought me to wrestling. So The Undertaker has a special place in my wrestling heart, if you will, and I thought I'd come up here and tell you kind of a cool, unique story of the night that he lost WrestleMania. It's a pretty funny story, and not that it's a huge moment in like the world itself, but it is a massive moment in professional wrestling world. So that's why I'm named this title, Where Were You When The Undertaker Lost at WrestleMania 30? So I'd like to tell you my story here, but before I begin here, if I can talk today, before I begin here, I've said this a million times on my channel and Twitter here. I will be at WrestleMania 35, so I'm really hoping that Undertaker does show up there for something with Elias or something. I don't care what. I just want to see him there. He's been at every WrestleMania, just about damn near since 1991, and you know, of course, the one WrestleMania I go to, he doesn't show up. I really highly doubt he's not going to show up. And if he doesn't show up, I'll be just a little disappointed, of course. But it's whatever. I'll still have a fun time. But moving on here, like I was saying, I will be very active here on Twitter and Instagram this weekend. I will be in New York all weekend. And I'm going to hopefully vlog a couple of videos here and upload them to my channel. So if you haven't yet, please follow me on Twitter. Please follow me on Instagram. Please subscribe to my channel here, J-Card Wrestling. I also have a music channel, which is blowing up out of nowhere recently, so thank you all for that. You can subscribe to that as well if you'd like. I will be very active on these social media outlets this weekend, so if you care to follow me on my journey, please subscribe, follow, you name it. Let's dive into the story now, right? So I decided to come up here and make this video on where was I when The Undertaker lost at WrestleMania 30, to basically start from the beginning here. Like I said, I've been an Undertaker fan for 20 years now. So every WrestleMania, I've seen every WrestleMania the Undertaker has wrestled at since WrestleMania 17. I know I missed probably 10 years prior to that, but I wasn't even born when he first started wrestling at WrestleMania. But I've watched every single match he's ever been in since then live, like that day on pay-per-view. So watching The Undertaker wrestle at WrestleMania was always an exciting time for me. It was always so much fun. It would always literally make my year. It's the only thing I wasn't a lot of things, you know. There wasn't a lot of things I look forward to in wrestling, but that was definitely it. I'm a huge wrestling fan, but if there's one thing I look forward to every single year was what The Undertaker was doing at WrestleMania. And my buddies and I would get together from middle school, elementary school, high school, the whole 9 yards for WrestleMania. And every year, my buddies would say, The Undertaker's finally going to lose this year. This year's it. He's going to lose this year. And I was like, no, he's not going to lose. And of course, you know, every other time I was right, you know. And my buddies would just, you know, harass me with all that. Undertaker's going to lose. You know, he's old. Why doesn't he just retire? The whole 9 yards. I mean, if anyone who's an Undertaker fan probably gets that crap all the time. So when WrestleMania 30 rolled around, I was actually slightly nervous if he was going to win or lose or not. And let me tell you why. Because WrestleMania 28 should have been his last match. I full-heartedly agree that I believe that Undertaker's last match ever should have been WrestleMania 20 with Triple H and Shawn Michaels in the Hell in a Cell match. He ended at 20-0. It was against, it was really against Triple H, but it was kind of triple threat match. But it was really that moment where I thought, man, he should just retire now. He's on top of the world. It was an emotional WrestleMania, and I think he should be done there. And I swear to God, if Undertaker gives me one more emotional WrestleMania, I might have a stroke and die. WrestleMania 28, WrestleMania 30, WrestleMania 33. If I get one more emotional WrestleMania, I think I might just croak. But anyways, so WrestleMania 30. So basically, let's go back to February of that year. So we went to like I mentioned, I'll leave a link somewhere in the description here. We went to the Royal Rumble in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, Royal Rumble 2014. And, of course, my buddies were like, when the Undertaker shows up, gong, the whole thing, And I was like, he's not going to show up. And, of course, he didn't show up. But there was in the dirt sheets that year, there was rumors going around saying the Undertaker's going to wrestle Brock Lesnar. I thought, yeah, that's probably true, because at the time there really wasn't anybody who could wrestle that was new. I mean, of course, he's wrestled Brock Lesnar before, but that was like in 2002 and 2003. So it's many, many years removed. They're both different people since then. Undertaker's changed his character, and Brock Lesnar is more of a dominant, defiant, recognizable force, if you will. So it was completely different, two different people. But I can't remember what Raw show it was. I can't remember what episode it was. It was the end of February. It's all I know. Paul Heyman comes out with Lesnar, of course. And what's funny is that today, we're in 2019, this shit with Brock Lesnar and Paul Heyman is still happening. I mean, I think it's just hilarious. I mean, not much continues and stays the same in wrestling, but that stays the same. But anyways, Paul Heyman comes out and said there is nobody that Brock Lesnar can wrestle. He's done it all, and we're out of here, or something like that. I can't remember. There's no WrestleMania opponents. We're gonna get out of here. Bye. And then, of course, the gong went off. You see Paul Heyman look at Lesnar and kind of smile a little bit. And Undertaker comes out and signs the contract and then stabs Brock Lesnar in the hand with a pen and chokes him through the table. And I remember we were in college. My buddies and I were in college. And we watched this in our dorm at 11 o'clock at night. And I was like, oh, my God, this is going to be epic. And I knew I had a slight feeling that he was going to be there at the show in Raw. Probably because, there's Brock Lesnar Open Invitation Challenge. I can't remember what the hell they advertised it as, but he had some sort of, it was a segment where it was just him. It was the last segment of the night. You knew it was going to be something big, or The Undertaker. But I thought, oh, man, that's going to be so freaking cool. I'm looking forward to that match. But like I said earlier in the video, I was pretty nervous about it. And the only reason why I was so nervous about it was because The Undertaker, when he first came out, I was like, oh, man, he looks rough. And he did. He looked rough. I mean, you look at any other WrestleMania. Look at WrestleMania 31. 33, he looked kind of rough, too. WrestleMania 31 and 34 last year, he looked pretty good. But WrestleMania 30, he looked like an old, broken-down man. And I thought to myself, he can't lose. That has to be it. Now he wants to go out with his... with the big guy and put him over, I guess put himself over, Brock Lesnar kind of. But I thought, maybe this is it for him. This is going to be it. And, of course, that wasn't the truth. He's wrestled every WrestleMania since then, and supposedly he's supposed to make an appearance at WrestleMania 35. But I remember the build for this match being pretty cool, being pretty good. But I remember a lot of people weren't looking for this match because they thought it'd be slow. Because Taker can't wrestle anymore, and Brock has to be careful with Taker, and which is true. It wasn't that great of a match, anyways. But obviously, I'll get to the reason, what happened in the show, of course, when he lost. So basically, people are probably wondering where the hell is the unique part of the story. So let me tell the unique part of the story here. Fast forward. Not much happened prior to the match and the build-up. That was really anything I want to point out. But I will tell you this part. So my buddies and I all went to the same college. I guess we can't get away from one another. We all went to the same college, and we all decided to watch WrestleMania 30 in my buddy's dorm. Of course, we were 18, 19 years old. We were drinking beer in there, hiding it from the CAs and all of that. And I remember the first segment, it was with Hogan, Stone Cold, and The Rock. And we all drank beer during all of that. So I probably take alcohol into a slight influence my reaction to this later on down the road. But we were drinking all night, watching the show, having a great time and all that. And keep in mind that the internet there in our building was so bad. It was so glitchy, so choppy, and we were so pissed off because we were like watching it like with 3 frames per second. You know, it was like 480p or whatever. It was horrendous. It was just absolutely horrendous. But it wasn't like all the show. It just got like basically the fun parts and the main parts I want to see was like that. So moving on, we had the matches. We had Dana Bryan and Triple H being the show. It was awesome. We had, I believe, John Cena and Bray Wyatt. It was a pretty good match as well. And then we get to The Undertaker versus Brock Lesnar. And we see the entrances. We see part of the matches. And it was, for the most part, I kind of saw what I was expecting. Not very good. It was okay, but it wasn't that great. But here's the kicker to this. So the internet started cutting in and out, and it started freezing. It started going out and going in and out. So we were watching it, watching on the network. I believe it was through an Xbox One or an Xbox 360. I can't remember. It was through an Xbox. We were watching it through. But we were watching it, and of course, the internet keeps cutting in and out. It was horrendous. And I'm sure I was missing everything. And I thought, well, it's not that big of a deal. It wasn't that great of a match. I'm sure Undertaker's going to win, right? So, anyways, when I said fuck this, I was so mad. I was already kind of drunk, and my girlfriend, who's actually not my fiance, thank God she stayed with me through all this. She was there with me, and I was just kind of irritated. And I just started dating her like 3 weeks prior to that, maybe 2 weeks prior to that. And I thought, if this girl stays with me through the rest of this, I'm gonna marry her. And ironically, I am. So, anyways, we were sitting there, kind of waiting for the TV, to readjust, because it was, like I said, it was cutting in and out. But the picture would pop back up every once in a while. And I almost said fuck it, and I don't know why we didn't watch it on our phone. I'm just thinking about this now. We were 19. We were drunk, probably. I don't know. But it never hardly came back on. And I was like, what the hell is going on? What the hell is going on? I didn't want to look at Twitter because I was afraid it would be spoiled for me. So 2 of my buddies are here with me in the dorm, my buddy's dorm. My other buddy went to another college about 40 miles away. And he's a big jokester, and it just says just random shit. And he sent us a text in a group message saying The Undertaker just lost. Are you kidding me? And we're like, shut up, no he didn't. And he goes, I swear to God he just lost. I just saw the 3 count. And I'm like, no freaking way, no way. And I didn't believe it. I did not believe it. I thought he was joking. I thought he was, lying to me. I thought he was just doing it to pull my leg because they know how huge of a Undertaker fan I am. I thought there's just no way he lost. There's no way. And he goes, dude, I swear to you that he lost. I just saw. I'm not kidding this time. I still don't believe him. I still didn't believe him. And my girlfriend, fiance now, looks at me like, he was looking at me like, what the hell's wrong with this dude? And, I just didn't believe it. I didn't believe it. Well, probably about 2 minutes later, the screen file pops back up, and all you see is The Undertaker laying in the middle of the ring. And I thought, no way. No freaking way. There's just no fucking way. No way. And then on a Titantron, or the screen, you'll see it. It's right above me, right here. That picture I saw, it's at 21-1. And I shit my pants. I did not expect that. I did not think The Undertaker was going to lose that match. There was just no way. I thought he was going to win. It wouldn't be a great match. I thought he'd win and move on to next year. And God damn it, he lost. And my face was priceless. And I'll put it here if I can find it. I'll put it right here. That picture right there is my legit reaction. I was trying not to smile because they were making me laugh during this. But I was trying not to smile at all because I was like just fuming on the inside. I was just so mad. And of course, I forgot to mention this too. My buddy and I made a $20 bet because I said to him, "Oh, he's gonna win. He's gonna win." So $20 he wins, and he's like, $20 he loses. And of course, I was down $20, and I just couldn't believe it. I could not believe it, and I literally felt like every single energy and like emotion that was in my body just drained out of me. Like I had no emotion. I didn't care. It was like I would like just went into the depressing episodic episode. That makes sense. I just didn't care. I didn't care about anything. I was just so out of it. I was done with the day. And I was so freaking mad that I literally left. And I did not finish WrestleMania 30. That was the first time ever I was watching WrestleMania. and I didn't finish the show. I didn't watch it. I went back to my girlfriend's dorm, and I went to bed. I was so mad. I did not care what happened. And I knew Daniel Bryan was going to win the world title. I think that was the only last match, right? They couldn't win in between there. I think the only most notable match, most recognizable match of that whole card. But I just didn't care. I walked away. I didn't finish the show. I was so damn mad. And looking back on it, was that ridiculous? Oh, yeah, probably. But I was also 19. I was also drunk, and I was also just really irritated with WWE. And I said, my girlfriend looked at me the whole time, and I thank God she's with me, and thank God she's coming to WrestleMania 35 with me. I knew since then I was going to marry that girl. She stuck with me and was now going to the damn show with me 5 years later. All right. So, it is what it is. And looking back on it, I am slightly embarrassed about my reaction. I just didn't care. But that wasn't my just reaction. It was everybody's reaction. I mean, look at this guy. Remember his reaction? That thing was fucking epic. It was so epic, And, I looking back on it, I get why they did it. The reason why they did it, of course, well, Vince McMahon said it was just right time. Brock Lesnar was on a roll. The network just came out. Kind of need a little bit of surprise, and which is fine. I personally believe, I'm not just saying this, I'm just saying this as a wrestling fan, not as an Undertaker fan. I personally believe the Undertaker should never lost WrestleMania. That streak should never have died. I think it should have stopped at 20, but if you're going to keep going with it, you should stop at 25, which I believe right now he's at 24-2, I believe, or something like that. He lost with Roman Reigns in WrestleMania 33, which obviously I wasn't that surprised about. But I think he should never lost. That streak should never have died. And I think if it should have died, it should have died with Shawn Michaels WrestleMania 25, which is obviously an epic match of its own, right? And I always kind of made the assumption here. I could just be overthinking it, but every five WrestleManias, the Undertaker's at. So WrestleMania 20, 25, and 30 were all huge Undertaker moments. 20 was when he returned the Dead Man. 25 was with the iconic match with Shawn Michaels, like a 5-star match. And WrestleMania 30 was when he lost the streak. So this is WrestleMania 35, and right now he has no match, and there's not going to be a match for Undertaker. There's just not going to be a match. So. But I have a hard time believing he's not going to show up this year at WrestleMania 35. I have a hard time believing he's not going to show up. I think he's going to show up. I think it's going to be the Dirty Elias segment. I think it's going to be awesome, and I think that's the way it should be if you're going to put him in the show. But according to some of the dirt sheets, I guess him and Vince are at odds right now, but who isn't nowadays? But anyways, that's basically my story to you all. I just thought it was a hilarious story to come up here and tell you all. It wasn't this huge, monumental story, but it was just hilarious because I was a kid. Internet was kind of in and out. I was drunk. I was in college. And I was 19 years old, and I was just angry with the world, man. I was so freaking angry. I'd like to know down in the comments below, what's your story, The Undertaker losing at WrestleMania 30? Where were you? What did you think? What did you feel afterwards? How do you feel now, 5 years later? And also, do you think The Undertaker will appear at WrestleMania 35 at all? And that's going to be it for me, guys. I just thought I'd come up here and make this cool video of, when The Undertaker lost and my story. And I hope to catch you all later. If you guys haven't yet, please subscribe. Follow me on all the social media accounts listed over here. I will be very active on all of them this weekend when I'll be in New York. And I'll catch you guys later. Thank you for watching.